Hello, it's Tim with Red Mountain Air Conditioning, and we are looking at an over-under package heat pump on a flat roof in Sun City, Arizona, which is the Phoenix area. And one thing I want to point out is it's just actually mounted on a 2x4 and a 4x4 if you look at that corner. So the drain isn't very high, but look how many feet of drain line we have here to get to the edge of the roof, and they have about an inch of pitch, maybe 3 inches of pitch right there at the beginning. So that's a drainage problem. And also, when they mounted it, they didn't pin the electric up off of the roof, so when somebody did roof coating, they coated the conduit in, so we're going to end up just messing up the roof coating when we remove that, so they're going to have to spend some dollars there. And they also didn't have the electrical up out of the way. That's the control wiring, so that's all foamed in, so that we're going to end up, she's going to have to, which is typically the case, you have to get a roofer come do touch-up work anyway. This particular unit is an over-under, which means the coil is here and the air enters from this side, so there's no way to get to that coil to clean it. So I do not install unless I absolutely don't have an option because of space restrictions. I don't install over-under rooftop units. The neighbor got one installed recently, and that's an over-under, and I can't see any reason to ever do that. They also mounted it just as low as the other one, so there's no pitch on the drainage. In fact, that drain looks like it might be running uphill. And they didn't put a transition between the existing elbow and the new unit, which means there's probably some issues there that we can't see between this joint and the unit. You go over here, this is another unit that was installed on this roof recently, and it is not level at all. They just mounted it on 4x4s, but you see how this side of the 4x4 is much higher than that side. Well, 4x4 plus a 2x4, so that's not level, so it won't drain right. They did take the time to build some decent ductwork there, but that unit won't last as long if it doesn't drain right. So it's not as high as I would like to see it for better pitch on the drainage, but it's better than the others. And then here's one where they did replace the elbow. They put a twist elbow on it, and they did mount it a little bit higher than the others, but it's still nowhere close to being level. If you look at it, this end is low, and again, that causes problems. If this corner is low and that's higher than that drain line, that can be a drainage problem. So if water puddles up, it causes corrosion. They also, look at this, there's an open joint where that flexible conduit comes out of the roof, so that'll leak water. It is leaking water when it rains. So this is a better than typical job that we see, but what we're going to do with ours, I'll probably make a follow-up video because we're going to be the only ones on this roof. We're going to build a stand out of angle iron, and we will get the unit about 10 inches in the air, maybe 12 inches above the roof line. And you can see the roof is kind of mounted here, so the stand, the back leg of the stand will end up out here away from the mount, and the legs will be adjustable height, so our unit will be perfectly level. You'll have lots of room to do roof maintenance, and you'll have lots of pitch for the drainage, and it'll be a side-by-side unit that's easy to access the cooling coil for cleaning and inspections. This unit, to get to the entering air side of the cooling coil, you would have to remove the unit, or you would have to cut a big opening in the elbow here. So it's more expensive on this one just to put eyes on the cooling coil than on a side-by-side, which is what we'll provide. A side-by-side, we can clean it cheaper than you can even access this one to look at it. So just a couple things about flat roofs. We do a lot of jobs on flat roofs here, and I never see them on a stand. You can look around, and there's one way over there on a stand, but it's it still isn't level. I don't think there's one unit on all the units I can see, about 10. There's not one of them that's truly level on from where I'm standing here. So that's a big thing. You want good drainage, it has to be level.